Anyways, welcome back to another video. In this video, as the title probably suggested, I'll be sharing some of the things that you can do other than rebirthing in Ghost Simulator. I know rebirthing has been the newest, biggest thing added to Ghost Simulator, and a lot of people have been focusing primarily on working on getting their rebirth count up or getting even to their first rebirth, and are usually ending up rebirthing right when they get here. But in this video, I'll be sharing some of the things that you can do rather than instantly rebirthing. One of the first things that you can do, and is actually highly suggested by most players, is to do before your first rebirth is to go and grind some gum. It doesn't really matter what gum you grind. You can grind glitchy gum like I do, or you can even just go grind some basic gum from the ice cave in the main hub. But whatever you do, grinding for this gum can really help you out on your rebirths, allowing you to progress quicker with your glitchy loot gum, and basically allow you to do a lot of other things that you wouldn't otherwise be able to do, either on your next rebirth or when you're performing any of the other possible grinding things in Ghost Simulator. To grind gum, the best way I've found to do it is using glitchy loot gum to go through and vacuum ghosts. I like to do the last four areas of the back door, Data Stream, Reverse City, down into here to do an overcharge and get all these ghosts, and then go up, do the Blockspite HQ, and then just do a cycle of all four areas. That's just what my opinion on doing the gum grind is, and there is many other ways to do it. One of the preferred ways for people that don't have 2x items is actually to grind over here in the ice cave, since these ghosts can drop quite a bit of items, even if you aren't using gum in 2x pass that most people use while doing stuff in the back door. Since these ghosts can drop between 0 and quite a lot of tusks, and go and convert at a 10:1 ratio in the main hub converter. Although this does only give people basic gum, it can be quite useful for people without 2x items to get quite a bit of gum pretty early on. So this is the other option, and it's more of a free to play. So if you want to go do that, you can also grind. Another thing that you can do rather than rebirthing is actually coming over and doing a lot of the quests that you usually skip during a normal rebirth grind. Some of the biggest ones are Joven and Bovin for their one-time allowance of pet space, but a lot of the other quests around can actually be quite nice to do for once during your playthrough of Ghost Simulator, especially some like Ghost Hunter Jacks or others that can give you pets and boards that you'd otherwise just do without through your time playing. This actually kind of ties in with one of the other things I'll be bringing up later, because these quests do give you pets that are necessary, that can show up in your index and are nice to have in general. Although, in the long run, some of these quests can take a while, and so it isn't really necessary to do them on your current rebirth. You can actually wait a few rebirths until you have better pets and more time to work on them. So leaving them off for another time is actually completely valid. Another thing that can actually be quite fun to grind for, and many people end up skipping, is going for the unlockable hoverboards in your inventory, especially the ones that you can buy for currencies, is going and grinding the gems, souls, ecto tokens, or ecto bits that you need to unlock them. They usually take quite a while to get, but are quite nice once you have them, to be able to use them forever and just feel accomplished. This is one of the things that I worked on recently, and it is actually quite fun to be able to say that you've got some of the rare stuff like Ghostly. And the fourth thing that you can actually work on rather than rebirthing, as I've probably hinted to a little bit earlier, is working on your index for either pets and boards. This serves both the dual purpose of allowing you to complete some of the journal quests, like Dylan, Jillian, and Willin, and it also can just serve to up your game completion. Along with those quest lines, you also have some other quest lines that give you certain pets and boards that you'll need, and also some bosses that you will need to grind to fill out your completion. So this is one of those things that is actually really fun to start working on, and just to finish each of these categories is actually really nice to be able to do. Another thing that can be really fun, and I actually really enjoy doing, is grinding some of the bosses in Ghost Simulator. Especially either the final boss or boss bow. They're quite quick or relatively quick compared to the rewards you get. I know final boss does take 15 minutes per-ish, but it can give you really good rewards. Along with the leveling it up, it does to your pets. It can be actually a really fun and worthwhile thing to do. The sixth thing that you can do instead of rebirthing is actually going and grinding gems for the chance of getting classifieds. Along with this, you'll probably need to grind for some lucky gum for help for it. But it's actually a really fun thing to do once you have a few rebirths in your pocket, to go and work on trying to get some of the classifieds from either board crates or even just going for some of the pets from main hub. I know these aren't the best classifieds, and they actually have quite low stats and are pretty difficult to get, but can be really rewarding once you get them, since they can serve as being your first classified and just showing off a little bit to your friends. And along with that, if you actually want to, you can actually go for a lot higher tier classifieds too. It just will take a lot more gems and a little bit more time to get the gems for it. Just depending on how many rebirths you have and how good your pets are to be able to grind for them. The seventh and last thing that you can do, rather than just speedrunning a rebirth in Ghost Simulator, is actually one of the things that I really haven't done. And it's going through and taking your time through each of the dialogues and reading it all. I've never read any of this dialogue, so a lot of people care about you. You keep your head up, mate. And just reading through it and understanding how the game works, getting some of the lore from the dialogue, since there's a lot of missed lore that most people end up missing in Ghost Simulator. So taking your time, reading through all the dialogue, and just trying to understand the game lore can be a really interesting thing, rather than just worrying on the simulator aspect of this game's grind. And with that last idea, that is the end of this video, and those are the 7 suggestions that I have for grinding you can do other than rebirthing in Ghost Simulator. If you guys have any other suggestions for things that you can do to grind in Ghost Simulator, please leave them down. Especially if you have other video ideas. I'm kind of slowly running out of video ideas. I am planning on doing another video on how to get classifieds in Ghost Simulator. That was actually suggested to me in a recent live stream, which I do occasionally. But yeah, that's going to be one of my plans for later. And if you guys actually are planning on doing any of these suggestions, feel free to leave a comment sharing which one of these was your favorite one to do or you think is the most beneficial. And with that being said, thank you guys once again for watching any of my content on YouTube. I'm a very small creator and this is just kind of my hobby, so seeing people actually enjoy it is definitely nice. And that will be it for this video.